Hey guys, it's Lyoko Sector here, and today is going to be my Nintendo Switch 2 unboxing video. I got my Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order right here, all in its glory. I'm not used to recording at this camera angle, but there it is. New inbox, mint, which doesn't affect, I guess it's pretty valuable right now because of all the scalpers and stuff like that, regrettably. But we got one here, got my pre-order. I got it through Best Buy. So pretty great experience overall. Best Buy has these limited edition Best Buy coins that you get. They had limited quantity of these, which I was the first one in line for the pre-orders. And that was another thing about it too. They had two separate lines, one for Switch 2 pre-orders, one for non-Switch 2 pre-orders. And from what I've been told, they had a pretty huge stock available for folks who didn't get a pre-order in. If I heard the guy correct, I think he said 150 they had available at this particular Best Buy location, which they were going to need because there was a lot of people on the non-pre-order side that were lining up for a chance to get one. A lot of people on the pre-order side too. So I'm curious if it was like a 1-to-1 where it's like they had 150 pre-orders and 150 in store. But yeah, let's get right into this boxing here. Again, apologies for the camera quality or the production quality and stuff like that. I'm not used to recording at this angle because of the way that my camera mount is set up and because of my monitor being so freaking huge. I have to shoot this semi-quasi like table setup that I just dragged over here. But anyways, so we're going to get into the unboxing experience here now. So let me adjust this camera. Get a nice little view of it. Let's see if I can get my mic out of the way. I think that's going to be as good as we can get it without it being in the way. You know what? Hold on. Yeah, this arm does not give me much wiggle room. I guess I could do it like this. I'm going to have to because that's what we got. We're going to do it live. We're going to do it live because that's what we're working with here. Spoilers, I have the physical version of Mario Kart 8 World. Told myself I wasn't going to get it because $80 games and all that fun stuff. But apparently until the ability to download goes live for the Switch 2, which I believe is at midnight. And then also there's like a day one patch, apparently, that's required to play Switch 1 games, which is the only other Switch games that I have. I decided to be a hypocrite and bite the bullet and buy this game. Probably not going to buy any $80 games in the future, just this once, so I have something to test on the Switch 2. But yeah, I'm still not a fan of $80 games, Nintendo and Xbox and PlayStation. I'm not a fan of $80 games in general, unless it's the deluxe edition and I'm getting all the DLC in future for free. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the Switch 2. So let's just get right into the unboxing experience. So I'll go set that right there to the side. Right there. Actually, before we start, let's get ourselves a little drink, shall we, guys? Not sponsored by Pepsi, I will say. But I love it, so I'm getting water droplets all over this table. All right, let's scooch back over here on my awkwardly sided chair, and then I'll just go ahead and get myself a little bit of caffeine in me so I can have the strength to record this video here. Because I want to get this out as soon as possible so I can get those sweet interactions and views and all that fun YouTube stuff. All right, so Nintendo Switch 2. As you can see, a very nice little decals on the side of the box there. Definitely excited for the bigger Joy-Cons because they were pretty small in the original Switch. I did remember to take my pre-order sticker off the side of this at the beginning of the video so that my information wasn't leaked out there and stuff like that. But overall, same kind of package quality that you'd expect from Nintendo. Very similar in design and shape and functionality to the original Switch, which I do not have an unboxing video for, unfortunately. We'll go ahead and we'll open the bottom here. All right. Yep. Okay, cool. All right. Make sure it's at the right positional angle. All right. All right, you guys ready? All right. Of course, if any of you have bothered to look anywhere on the internet, you'll know that the Switch 2 is already being unboxed in other places on the internet because people somehow miraculously got their copies, or not copies, their, physical Switch 2s ahead of time. And there were plenty of videos online of people booting them up and testing them up. But of course, I am recording at this time from receiving mine legitimately at Best Buy. Nice little thing about the Best Buy that I was at is that we were matching the East Coast for their launch time. So we actually got ours at 11 p.m. as opposed to 12 p.m. midnight, which I thought I was going to have to wait till initially. Got myself a little lawn chair, got myself some drinks to pass around to some folks, get those that little goodwill that people always love to have at those midnight releases. I got there at around 7:30 and waited around, hung out, talked to some really nice folks. I was the first person in line that had a pre-order, so I was on the first person on the line on the side for people who had pre-orders. I felt kind of bad for that because there was probably like 25, 30 some people already lined up on the non-pre-order side. So I was just lucky getting mine from the Best Buy website, but I mean, that's another story to talk about later. So Switch 2. All right, let's go ahead and get the Joy-Cons out first because I guess those are the easiest of that. Get that nice, that nice plastic ASMR. And then Joy-Con number 2, red Joy-Con. If you guys are into ASMR, you're going to really love this video. All right, so let's go ahead and take these out of the plastic real quick. Ooh, that is nice. Very nice. It is a plastic, but it's a very smooth plastic. It kind of has a nice premium plastic quality to it, which these things are going to need if any kids are going to be having these. Well, I guess not a lot of kids would be having these because their parents would never let them near this kind of console with this expense. $450, mind you, that I paid for mine, just the base console. The Mario Kart World bundle being $500, but only comes with a digital copy of Mario Kart World, which Marcus Brownlee in his video talked about. In his little care package he got from Nintendo, they actually sent him a physical copy of Mario Kart World because the digital download wasn't going to be available by the time he got his package. So, interesting stuff all around. I'm surprised why they wouldn't just release the software early or hand out review copies and stuff like that. But I mean, hey, you need to do what you got to do. Nintendo's going to do their own thing. But nice feel on the Joy-Cons there. The black color with the accents is nice, but I mean, I kind of do like the original Switch with like the solid colors on each side. But I'm sure they'll come out with plenty other additions and revisions here in a little bit. Let me get this out of the way. This mic is going to be the biggest problem of this recording. All right, so now we'll get our actual Switch 2 console out of here. Very big, beefy, and pretty sizably weighty. Definitely not as heavy as the original Switch, but that's to be expected because they increased the size of it substantially. But there it is, our beautiful 1080p display. Right there, got to make sure I don't drop it and damage this thing because I did not get the Geek Squad protection for this. I think I had the option to, but I missed it. But yeah, very nice. There's our built-in kickstand there. Very rugged, very sturdy, which was always a complaint of the original Switch of mine. There's a little micro SD expansion slot right there. Nice little, very surprisingly transparent like speaker grills on here. I don't know if you guys can see that in the video, but you can almost see through them. Surprisingly more transparent than I thought they'd be, but very big speakers too, so definitely going to be interesting to see about that. And then on the top here, we've got our cooling vent, game card slot, headphone jack, thank God. Apple, Samsung, anyone who's removed their headphone jacks, put your fucking headphone jacks back on your devices, okay? Plenty of people still use headphones. We wouldn't still be using them and selling them if they weren't being used. So, I mean, come on, guys. I don't care how much you're trying to waterproof it. USB Type-C on both ends. So we got one on the bottom, one on the top. That'll be great for, you know, charging while in docked mode, or for, you know, having this plugged into the dock, and then of course having your camera accessory plugged in, which I did get the camera accessory, so we'll go ahead and check that out here in a little bit. But yeah, overall, really nice, beautiful view. Let's go ahead and, well, you know what? We'll put that down for now. All right, I'm gonna move this fucking mic is being the biggest piece of pain in my butt in this. I'm just gonna kind of keep it off to the side here, and I guess I'll just lean in and talk about it as I go. Hopefully, my audio is getting picked up in this. I'll go ahead and get a drinky here. Cheers to the Switch 2 launch, guys. All right, so now let me kind of reposition my devices so that everything is very meticulously in frame. So we got our Joy-Cons, our Switch 2 console, and the box, which we are, of course, still digging into. So let's not waste any more time. All right, we got a little bit actually in this part, surprisingly. All right, health and safety, usage guidelines, pretty standard for electronic devices. Here's our cables. So our lovely little included HDMI cable, still mint in the wrapping. Won't be for much longer, but we'll go ahead and get that there. And then we've got our Joy-Con little mouse pieces, I guess. Mounts. Well, they're also the tether straps, but they're also the mouse. Can I talk today? My gosh, tonight. But yeah, we'll go ahead and slip those off. You get a nice little look at those. Definitely curious to see how the mouse functionality works on this thing. So, but there we go, and the nice matching accent colors. So we'll go ahead and click these right in here. All right. Definitely going to be a little interesting to see how that works. I'm also curious how these pads will last over time when you're, you know, especially if you're playing that game that's coming out for Nintendo, Dragon Drive, where it's like all mouse controls for the Switch 2. Definitely going to be interesting to see how that handles. But pretty standard grips. Of course, if you guys need a demonstration, you just kind of slide it up in there like so. And then so if you throw your controller around, it still stays on there. Feels pretty sturdy clicked in there, and then just kind of pop out pretty easily, though they do look like they kind of just snap in. And unique kind of like little pin mechanism. So I guess it's pretty firm. I mean, it's got a little give right there, but I don't think it's going to fly out if you have the full weight of your Switch 2 in there. But just click it out, comes out like that. So pretty cool. We'll go ahead and lay those out there. We're all done with this part of the box right here, so we'll go ahead and place that there. Moving on, we've got our included little Joy-Con grip kind of thing. Go ahead and put that on the side. So the new magnetic system for this is pretty cool, but I do kind of miss sliding it in. I know it was kind of a pain to slide them in at times, but I did kind of like that aspect of it a little bit. Let's go ahead and do a little demo with the little grip here. Ooh, you guys hear that? Nice and snappy. So I'll do it one more time for you ASMR guys out there and gals, not shaming. All right, and again. Ooh, very snappy, very satisfying. Again, like I said, I kind of like sliding it. You know, that was always a cool little thing about it. It's almost like deploying your Joy-Cons, which I guess this gives off the same kind of impression, but grip still looks the same. Definitely a little bit bigger, a little bit wider, you know. So I did not get the Pro Controller. I've never really needed a Pro Controller. I've always been pretty satisfied with the Joy-Cons and this little grip here itself. We'll see how I feel about this one after I get a little more usage in it. But yeah, overall looks pretty standard for in regards to Switch accessories. So we'll go ahead and put these up there. And put all the plastic up there. Slide these things right up there. Get them all nice and presented. Put the little Joy-Con grip there. And continuing on, we've got our power cable, USB-C to USB-C. So all night, and please, for the love of God, continue to use the little Ziploc packaging. I hate having, because I like to preserve my, boxes and the baggage that all the accessories come in and stuff like that when I buy stuff, especially electronics. So like having a resealable bag, like if I want to sell this in the future, it just makes it so much easier packing it back up. And then of course you also get to say you have all the original packaging with it for collection purposes. So yeah, continue to keep doing that, guys. Nintendo, Samsung, Apple, whoever's listening. Got our nice little USB-C charging brick for this one. 100 to 240 volts, 50/60 hertz, 1.6 amps. I think that's what that means. Pretty standard. And I mean, hey, if I don't need to charge my Switch, but I need to charge like a phone or something that use USB Type-C, I'll have an extra block for it. So that's always a nice little plus. Imagine plugging the USB camera directly into this thing. I wonder how that will go. But yeah, so we got that. I'll put that right here. And then of course, the last piece of our unboxing experience is this lovely, beefy, chunky little Nintendo Switch 2 dock. Look at that. It's got a little light with a little TV to kind of signal that you're plugged in. So pretty bulky. This one's got fans and everything built in for cooling, so it's definitely going to be nice to see how the performance handles for that. And then it looks like this part just kind of pops off like that. Pretty standard. There's our I/O for all of our stuff, HDMI, USB-C, and a Ethernet cable, which is always a nice little addition. But yeah, nice and beefy for that extra performance there. So go ahead and, dang it, I'm getting all kinds of dust on my new Switch screen, and I haven't even put the screen protector on it yet. This is going to drive me crazy. But I'm doing this for you guys, all right? It's currently 12:11 a.m. As of recording this video in this moment. So, yeah. And I'm probably going to spend a little bit of time editing this, so I'm not going to get any sleep whatsoever. So you might as well just get more caffeine in me. All right. And I think that's everything on our Switch 2. So there it is, completely empty box. So yeah, let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and fire her up here. Go ahead and set these over here. Kind of position this a little bit better. All right, so, well, let's get our Joy-Cons on, I suppose. Pretty sturdy on there. Not really much give on there, but of course they pop out pretty easily. Definitely curious to see if these little connectors, prongs right here, whatever you want to call them, if that becomes a problematic in the future, depending on how people slide them back in and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, pretty nice, compact. Same thinness as the original Switch, same like thin kind of profile. You guys can see it. I don't have an original Switch to compare to this because I sold my original Switch and my Switch OLED in anticipation for the Switch 2. So I don't have anything to compare it by, but I mean, Marcus Brownlee has a Switch and a Switch 1 and Switch OLED to compare sizes to. Marcus Brownlee, I know you're a super big YouTuber, and I'm just a small first-time YouTuber, but shout out to Marcus Brownlee. Makes some pretty high-quality premium content right there. I hope to one day aspire to be both as successful and as professional as him. Just shouting that out there in case he notices me. Marquez Senpai, notice me, please. But yeah, so there's the Switch 2. Let's go ahead and power her on, and we'll kind of go from there. So kind of get the nice little frontward view for you guys. Power button on. Ooh. Beautiful 1080p display. Not OLED, though, which, you know, you can say, I mean, the guy I was talking to at Best Buy, he said, you know, Nintendo's taken a loss on this console, so that's why they have to make it up in the Switch in the game prices, which, I mean, I guess makes sense, but if they're taking a loss on this, I mean, take a little bit more of a loss and give us an OLED screen like we had before. But I mean, it's fine, it's serviceable, it's got HDR. But yeah, so interesting that it defaults to English UK. I guess K comes before S in the alphabet, so I guess that makes sense. But interesting that English UK / Australia is the top language option there. But we'll do our English US. You guys can see it. Oh, you know, the speaker's going a little bit. The Americas, yep, that's where we're at. View and license agreement, end user license agreement, blah, blah, blah. Forced arbitration and all that good stuff. Ability to brick my system if I mess with it in any way, or Nintendo account services, all that fun legal jargon. Already sent my letter out there to Nintendo when the agreement was first updated that had that oh yeah, forced arbitration clause too. So I sent a letter out to the Nintendo of America headquarters to intentionally opt out of that forced arbitration clause, because you never know if, like, stick drift or heck, even some, I mean, knock on wood, but I mean, any other big major issue with the Nintendo Switch 2, I definitely want myself to be legally available for mass lawsuits against Nintendo, which is nothing against Nintendo. I'm always a fan of forced arbitration clauses. And, you know, forced arbitration clauses are inherently in the major corporations' favor in a lot of cases. But I will go ahead and accept these terms because I've already accepted them before in the past, and I sent my letter out, so we'll go ahead and do that. Next, let's connect to the internet. Internet connection will simplify the setup process. So there is supposed to be a day one patch that comes out here. So, and I am going to tie it to my Nintendo account here. So I will go ahead and do that. Internet settings. Working for network. Go ahead and do this real quick. Connection successful. Let's see if we got our big day one patch that is required. About to download update data. You can continue setting up while the update downloads. Okay, cool. Update data is downloading, and then we've got all our different time zones. Let me go ahead and find mine real quick. With Nintendo Switch 2, you can play games wherever you want, however you want. Always nice to have freedom of choice. System can stand at whatever angle you like, just pull out the rear stand. You can now connect the AC adapter to the top of the system. Very interesting that they put that in the setup for the Switch 2, because assuming that you didn't have the Switch 1 initially, and you had complaints about only having the USB-C port at the bottom, and you couldn't charge your Switch while you were in, set it up on desktop mode like this, or tabletop mode, I guess. Very interesting that you mentioned that. So, like, someone fresh coming in is like, oh, you couldn't do that before on the original Switch? So, but just an interesting little thing to point out. Detach the right Joy-Con. Hold the release button. Pull out to the side. All right, okay, cool. Snap that back in. All right, detach left Joy-Con too as well. Oh, I guess I'll keep this one attached out also. Pretty seamless, not that big of a struggle to do that. So set up the controller next, select next for the controller you removed. Do you want to connect to a TV? and play on a larger screen. I would, but I'm not going to in this video because I don't have that set up yet. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to set it up because of my awkward situation I got here. So we'll go ahead and just hit later. You can use the accessories that came with the system to hold the Joy-Con 2 controllers. Yes, let's go ahead and set that up again. There we go. View attachment guide. When attached to a grip, a pair of Joy-Con 2 functions as a single controller. You can attach the Joy-Con 2 controller to the side. To remove them, just press the button and slide. Okay. You can use the straps, as we demonstrated before. To hold a Joy-Con 2 in each hand, slip from the end with the strap and then tighten firmly. To remove a strap, hold the release button and on the back of the Joy-Con 2. Choose a style. You can change it at any time, which has always been a really cool thing about Switch 2. Ready to update the system. Let's freaking go, guys. Update. I wonder if this is the day one patch or if it's an other update that isn't it. We'll see. I'll go ahead and grab one of my Switch 1 games and we can test that out too. System update complete. You can transfer data from your Nintendo Switch to this Nintendo Switch 2. I don't have an old Switch to transfer to, so I will go ahead and not do that, but we'll see about system transfers real quick. When you transfer systems, your data will be copied from one system to the next so that you can easily pick up playing where you left off. Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch 2. To continue the system transfer after starting the process on the source system, select Start System Transfer on the system. All right. Not all data will be transferred, which is a good thing for folks to know. So, data that will transfer. All users, all save data, screenshots and videos, and system settings. Data that won't transfer is news. It's pretty interesting. I wonder what's going on with the news on there, but who knows. Visit the Nintendo support website for more details. You can use the two systems and transfer specific data without transferring systems. Support.nintendo.com. So let me zoom in on there. If you guys want to zoom in on that QR code and scan it, I don't know if that's close enough for you guys to see it, but hopefully it works out for you if you try to do that. I don't know how many people are going to do that, but all right, so we'll go ahead and hit don't transfer on here. And there's the freaking light glaring on my screen. That's okay. Continue without transferring systems. You won't be able to transfer systems later. Yes, I'm fine with that. I don't have anything like I said. Let's add a user. All right, give me a second here while I do that. All right. Signed into your Nintendo account. William. All right, cool. Here's my little Wind Waker icon because I love Wind Waker. More users can be added. I will skip that for right now because I am all alone and the only other person who's here with me is my brother. So, parental controls lets you set limits on the system on how the system can be used. You can adjust settings from a smartphone or the system itself. Very nice. Take care of your kids, parents. Don't just give them the game console or their cell phone or the iPad or whatever, and just let that raise them, because then you wonder why your kids are doing crazy things and are psychos and all that kind of stuff. You know, and then you wonder why, oh my gosh, why is my son like this? Why doesn't he have any love in his heart or stuff like that? Or why didn't he grow up right? It's because you didn't fucking raise him right. I'm 27. I'm not in a relationship. I'm not going to have kids until I can support them, support my wife, and then give my kids a good future. So maybe not have kids if you're not ready, both financially and mentally. I don't know where that tirade came out to, but, you know, parental controls. It's there for parents, you know what I mean? We'll go ahead and skip. If you have a micro SD express memory card, insert it. Of course, I do not, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to take advantage of that, but the Switch 2 does come with 256 gigabytes of internal storage right out of the box, so that's nice. I'll show you guys how to insert, just in case you don't know there. So, open the stand on the back of the system, insert the microSD card into the microSD card slot. Pretty standard, straightforward. All right, we'll go ahead and skip that. Setup is complete. Go to the home menu. To go to the home menu, press the home button, which is right here. Ding. Ooh. Nice little opening animation for that. From here, you can re-download and play, purchase downloadable games and content on your account. Virtual game cards, which I will say for the record that I am not a fan of. I feel like it overcomplicated things and actually made it more harder to share games and whatnot. But I mean, we won't go into that in this video. You know, this video is full of enough tirades already. So there we are. We are inside it. Let's Nintendo Switch Online, Game Chat, News, Nintendo eShop, Album, Game Share, Controllers, Virtual Game Cards, System Settings, and Sleep Mode. Let's go ahead and check the system settings out here real quick. All right, Sport, Health, and Safety, Airplane Mode, Screen Brightness, Bluetooth Audio. That's really nice. Internet, Parental Controls, Accessibility, Data Management. Data management, so 3, 2, 6, okay, cool. Users, controllers, accessories, audio, display, Me. Ooh, we can create our Miis still, which is nice. Nintendo, focus on your Miis more. They were a huge part of the Wii's success. And, you know, yeah, they're Miis and people didn't really use them much outside of that, but I mean, you know, support them. Tomodachi Life, living the dream. It's coming. Amiibos, those are always fun, I guess. Themes, Nintendo, for the love of God, please give us some theme customizability on the Switch 2. Like basic light and dark, it's like ridiculous. I'm gonna go with dark mode because I think it matches the console a little bit too. It also saves me battery life and stuff like that. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if that actually does it, but I mean, you're using the brightness less, I guess, by using a dark screen, so maybe. But please, Nintendo, give us some Switch 2 themes. You know, I don't care if I have to pay for them. You know, I mean, be reasonable. Don't charge us like $5 a skin or something like that. Keep it basic, like $2 or so, or maybe $5 for like the Zelda or the Mario theme or something like that. But I mean, give us some customization on this stuff besides just like the color of the console and the Joy-Cons and stuff like that. All right. Notifications, sleep mode, system, all that kind of stuff. Let's see if we're up to date on our system. System is up to date. System version 20.1.1. Wow, we're already at system version 20. Fascinating. Well, I guess that's including the original Nintendo Switch. System nickname, William Switch 2. Manually unlock after sleep mode. System lock. All battery percentage, yes please. Stop charging at around 90%. I will, excuse me, I will go ahead and do that because that'll help save my battery life a good bit. It's only 10% of battery life. Shortens the amount of time the system can be used while unplugged, but can help reduce loss of battery capacity over time. Even if turned on, the system may charge up to 100% to ensure accurate battery level display. Okay, interesting. Serial information, blah, 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 all that. I'm going to turn off automatic software updates, just in case Nintendo doesn't update like the Switch 2, like the virtual game cards and stuff like that, and then suddenly you can't share games like you used to. I'm going to go ahead and keep that. Share error information. Now I'll leave that. Data clear options. Okay, sleep mode. I'm going to go ahead and just navigate through these settings. I'll probably cut this stuff out. Sleep mode, put the system to sleep after 5 minutes. Playing on system screen, auto sleep, 1 hour. 30 minutes playing on screen, auto sleep, 1 hour. Auto sleep playing media content. Let's auto sleep interrupt media after the system has been idle for 4 hours. Yeah, I'll go ahead. Please wake up sound, play wake up sound in TV mode, normal.
Loud, quiet, none. Okay, interesting. Keep wired connection active in sleep mode. Lets the downloads you start from your PC or smart device begin right away. Even while the system is in sleep mode, turn this off to reduce the energy your system consumes while in sleep mode. Can connect it to the internet. Yep, I will go ahead and do that. Wake when AC adapter is disconnected. Wake the system from sleep mode if it's removed from the dock. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Notifications for completed downloads. Yep, friend notifications, platinum points, alarms. Interesting. Alarms are on there, which is interesting. Notification sounds. Yeah, themes. We already did that. Amiibos, don't have any. Me. Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll create a me later. Maybe I'll make a whole video about that. Display. Yeah, HDR output, TV resolution. Interesting that we can't select. I guess we can only select those when we're in the TV, which is interesting. Dock output information, RGB range, automatic, full range, limited range. We'll just leave that automatic. Adjust screen size, connect to a TV or console. Okay, screen burn-in reduction. Reduces screen brightness after 5 minutes of inactivity. Yep, go ahead and leave that on. Match TV power stay. Turns on the TV on when you dock the console and switch to TV mode when the system exits sleep mode. While docked, turning the TV off will put the system in sleep mode. HDMI settings must also be turned on in your TV settings. Some TV models may not be able to use this feature. That's fine. 120 hertz output. Outputs video at 120 hertz when supported both by TV and software. 120 hertz video is supported at 1080p and 1440p TV resolutions. Auto low latency mode, ALLM, changes TVs to low latency mode, game mode when supported. We'll leave that on. HDR output for all software. Outputs HDR video for all selected software. When the for all software option is selected, all software will use HDR. When the compatible software only option is selected, only games that support HDR will use HDR output. Okay. Yeah, compatible software only, I guess. HDR output may need to be adjusted for each TV. Once connected to a TV that supports HDR output, select. Actually, okay, we'll just go ahead and move that for all software. Adjust HDR, not connected to a TC, so we can't do that. Audio, source automatic TV sound, system virtual surround, apply spatial effects in the system speaker when playing sound from software that supports 5.1 surround. Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Headphone virtual sound, apply spatial effect, yeah, that's fine. Mute when headphones disconnect, yeah, we'll do that. Lower max headphone volume, yep, that's fine. Test output. Pretty nice speakers. Cool, that's fun. Input microphone automatic, microphone noise suppression, we'll just do that. Microphone input, test microphone. Hello, hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Test 1, 2, check 1, 2, check. Yeah. Check 1, 2, check. Check 1, 2, check. It's always so weird hearing your voice in recording. All right, yeah, that's fine. Microphone works great, thank goodness. I would expect so out of the box. Controllers and accessories, change grip and order, GL/GR buttons, controller vibration, update controllers. Do we need an update? I guess we did need to update the controllers. Glad I did that. Joy-Con 2 mouse controls. Yep, mouse sensitivity medium. Update Nintendo Switch 2 camera. I guess this will be a good time to show off the camera. Let me go grab the box, since I do have that. Nintendo Switch 2 camera. All that. Not going to be using this for online functionality, and I'm still kind of iffy about game chat because it's going to have to be paid for in the future.
But if there's a game that I can use in an offline mode, then hey, I guess it's not completely useless. Let's go ahead and open this up real quick. This is just a single blade edged butterfly knife. I don't know how good you can see that. There's only the edge on this side right here, in case anyone wants to comment in the video, oh my gosh, she's got an illegal knife. Butterfly knives are banned in the US. This thing isn't even as like flimsy as like you really need those things to be to get any functionality out of them. But just got this at a trade show in Florida. All right, so Nintendo Switch 2 camera unboxing experience. This is the real reason I'm recording this video, is for this bad boy right here. Freaking 720p video resolution. Video recording resolution. Okay, it kind of just pulls out like there. That's kind of nice. There we go. Some nice crinkly plastic for you guys, for all you ASMR fans out there. Again, I had to make sure I gave them something in the middle of the video. Another USB-C cable, which is always nice to have. And then here is the actual camera itself, which is pretty small. I mean, for what it is, but I mean, you know, if they balled out with any bigger kind of camera, I guess it would be pretty pricey. Still made of that nice little Nintendo quality. Something I didn't know that it had, but it's got this little like shutter switch, so you can see. So you can cover the camera, which I guess is always nice if you have privacy concerns about that. And then it's got a nice little adjustment here. It's interesting. So in the demos that they've showed of using the camera, it's like it covers the whole, like, you know, field of vision, peripheral vision, whatever it has, right? So like you point it, whatever it sees, it can seize. And then it's like for games like Mario Party Jamboree, for example, you'll just kind of like focus the camera like where you're at. So like if the Pepsi bottle is me, right? So the camera is recording it. You got your vision that your camera is recording. You just put like a little circle like right over your head, right? And then that's how it records it, by just cutting everything out except the area that you highlight, which in most cases is your head. I'm really curious to see. Imagine if you just like focus the camera on your crotch, and then you're playing Mario Kart World with your friends, and every time you pass them and whatever, they're just seeing it, your crotch in the video feed. I'm sure there'll be a lot of hilarious instances of that being misused. But let's go ahead and plug this bad boy in so we can make sure our camera's up to date, because of course we want all our software to function. So we'll go ahead and do that. Gonna get another drinky here. Cheers, guys. Oh yeah, that's good. Cheers to 6 subscribers, I believe, at the time of recording this video. Only 994 to go. Or, yeah, 994 more subscribers to go before I can start monetizing my channel and stuff like that. So we're getting there. Only 494 more subscribers till I can unlock the membership tiers and stuff like that. So that'll be easy. So pretty soon you guys too can give me your hard-earned money to support me and not you. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and plug this little thing in here. It is a nice little camera stand. I mean, it is what it is, but I mean, it's adorable. It's cute. It's a little camera, you know. It's kind of like Nintendo, you know, like Bowser Jr., for example, you know, a cute little thing, whatever the fuck it is. But yeah, this is not the family-friendly Nintendo channel that you were maybe thinking that you were going to have. So we'll go ahead and just wrap our cord around here. No, don't dim the screen. Go ahead and plug this in. Camera connected. All right, that's cool. And then we'll go ahead and update Nintendo Switch 2 camera. Nintendo Switch camera firmware is already up to date. Well, this was a lot of extra work for nothing, but there you go. So you have it in your dock, and then you have it in your dock.
in your dock like that, and then you'd have it next to your TV pointing at you and all that fun stuff. Surprisingly, and Marcus Brownlee noticed this in his video, it's kind of got a good bit of wiggle room in the dock. So like, I don't know if I can capture that. See, a little bit of wiggle room, which if you guys don't remember from the original Nintendo Switch, people were actually scratching their their original Switch screens on the dock as they were like sliding it and pulling it out and stuff like that. And it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, I mean, come on, Nintendo, why didn't you think about that? And they corrected it with like the Switch OLED and later models of the Switch by adding a little bit of more padding there because it's just plastic right here and it's rubbing against. So interesting that they didn't really, you know, pad this one up too much, but I guess maybe it was interfering with the sliding out experience or something like that. But I mean, it probably won't be bad. I've got a carry case with a screen protector to go on it, so I mean, I'll be covered there. There is also, believe it or not, a I'll go ahead and unplug the camera here. Turn that privacy shader on. There is I don't know if you guys can see it on here, but there is a screen protector. I don't know if you can kind of see it on the edges there. A screen protector built into this, which is interesting. Maybe that's how they're addressing the dock, but I mean, it's not meant to be taken off, so it's, if you think about it, it's kind of meant to go on top of the existing one, so the built-in one. So yeah, well, we'll kind of see how it goes, but yeah. So let's plug this back in because we can actually test the USB camera. So we'll go ahead and put that in. Test USB-C camera. Uh-oh. Looks like there's a problem with the camera, guys. We can't see it. This is absolutely ridiculous, except, oh no. Well, there we go. Kind of an interesting little light fade there. So, hello, it's me. So, yeah, can you guys see me? Hi. Yeah, it's a cool camera. It works. It's got a little up and down adjuster, but no turning functionality, so you just kind of have to rotate the stand a little bit. But yeah, 720p, I mean, it's serviceable, whatever. But yeah, so pretty cool that we can test it out. I guess I got my money's worth out of it already because I can just pull it up whenever I want. Nintendo, it would be really nice if you had built-in software in the Switch 2 to use the camera to record your face while you're playing games. I mean, I guess you could do that already, but maybe, you know, like a standalone software, you know, so you don't have to do that. Imagine if we could record our gameplay reactions and the Switch console itself, you know, without needing external, you know, devices and stuff like that to do that. I mean, I don't know, maybe that's in their pipeline, maybe it's not. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, so that's the camera, so we'll go ahead and unplug that again. Turn that shitter back on, because even though it's unplugged, I don't trust it. So calibrate motion controls, calibrate control sticks. Okay. Yep. When the stick control is being touched, the cursor will have a cross. Stick is tilted, cursor will appear as a dot. Stick fully tilted in one direction, outer circle will light up. Okay, cool. The control stick isn't working as expected. Press X to calibrate. Cool. All right. Okay. Yep, so everything looks good. Calibrate motion controls. Calibrate console. Detach Joy-Con 2 controllers from the console. All right. Place the console on a flat, stable surface. Right. Calibrate console. Console on a flat surface with the screen facing up. Okay. Calibration complete. Cycle complete. Calibrate controllers. Hold plus or minus on the Joy-Con controller you want to calibrate. Place the controller on a flat, stable surface. Control sticks up. Calibration complete. Calibrate controllers again. Not stable service. Calibration complete. All right, there we go. We are calibrated. Test input devices. Controller buttons. Okay. Interesting that it took me back when I hit the home button, so we can't test if the home button's working right. Well, I guess we proved that it was working right there. Just interesting. All right, now we gotta go all the way back down there. Test input devices, controller buttons. Okay, can't test. I mean, I guess the game chat button does work. Okay. I don't know why I expect those to give an input also, but you never know. All right. All right, so the detacher is not a button, unfortunately, guys. All right, cool. Guess everything's working. Pro controller, wired communication, forces wired communication. Nah, we're not doing that. Swap A and B. Okay, that's kind of cool. Disconnect controllers. Don't want to do that. Oh, well, we need to. Did not test the touchscreen, so. Kind of cool. Fascinating. So, Lyoko sector. Oh yeah, Lyoko, and then we'll do a little. Lyoko sector. There we go. All right, yeah, so we're good. We're done here. Yep, so we're good. Users, add user, pretty data management, screenshots and videos, accessibility, button mapping. Change orientation. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, cool. So we could map it. So I guess if we're not going to be paying in the future, a year from now, if you're not going to be paying for Nintendo Switch Online to be able to continue to use Game Chat, then you could just remap it to the capture button, which is pretty interesting. Interesting. Well, there we go. That solves that problem right there. Just a new capture button. So perfect. I mean, that solves that problem. Thank you so much, Nintendo. My gosh. All right, cool. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better about the C button because it's not a fully dedicated button. And I guess you can always reset it, which is fascinating. Button mapping in quick settings. Button mapping option in quick settings. Yeah, that's fine. Textized. Bold text. Standard's fine. Highlight contrast. Interesting. Zoom. Yeah, I'll let you zoom by hitting the home button twice. Too bad I don't need that. I mean, I guess not. That's a good thing I don't need that. Display colors, inverted colors. Ew, so you could like get like you know, the inverted colors of the little icons make it, instead of this little blue light strip that's going over stuff you highlight, you could have it like a red kind of grayscale. Okay. Pretty interesting. Mono audio, text to speech.
Mono audio. Change display colors. Text to speech. Use off.
Always nice to have that. Oh, voice type.
Voice type. Use text to speech. Mono audio. Voice. Mono audio. Change display colors. Text to speech speed. 300%. 224%. 212%. 147. 96%. 105. 96%. 107. 103%. 94%. 103%. 99%. 103%, 99%, 98, 100%.
Okay, we got back to there. Okay, cool.
Accessibility. Text to speech volume. 100%, 235, 351, 400%.
400% text-to-speech audio, guys. Pretty good.
102%, 94%, 99%, 108, 99%, 100%.
Okay, cool.
Change speech to and from text during game chat. Voice type. Use text to off. Type 2.
Text to speech. Date. Button map. But text to speech off.
Always fun to mess around with text-to-speech settings. Change speech text during game chat. Okay, that's interesting. You can choose who it for. Okay, cool. Accessibility, always fun. Parental controls, internet connection, Bluetooth audio, paired device. Okay, that's cool. Screen brightness. Let's go ahead and... I wish they would snap to a spot so I could get it perfectly in the middle, but I can't. I guess beggars can't be choosers. No, I'm not sure what I mean, yeah. Contradict myself. All right, so that's all the system settings. So I guess now all that's left is to how to use mouse controls. Okay, let's go ahead and get this demonstration out of the way. So plug this in there. Put our Switch console right here. So, Joy-Con 2 controller supports mouse controls. Try it out. Select next and follow the on-screen guides. Okay, cool. Snap them in. Excuse me. Using Joy-Con 2 strap can help make using the controller easier. Attach accessory to display the cursor. Set the Joy-Con 2 on a flat surface and move as shown in the image. Yeah, okay, interesting. While using mouse controls, you can tilt the control stick through to scroll through menus. Okay. Interesting. Okay. You can use mouse controls on the home menu and in compatible software. You should be all set to use the mouse controls now. To go back to the display mode you were using, pick up the controller. Just pick up your Joy-Con 2 and keep playing. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So we're now in mouse mode. That's kind of cool. That was one of the things I praised Nintendo for with the Switch 2 is the mouse controls. I always thought that was pretty cool. But of course, they weren't the first to do it. I think one of those handheld gaming PC things did it, except their controller was like vertically stood, so you could like do it like this, kind of like a flight control stick. But yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and I guess we'll open up our Mario Kart World bundle and just fire it up real quick, just to kind of get a little game demonstration here. Be very careful with my box. There we go, nice and delicately, because I want to preserve this physical game copy. That's another big disappointment of from the Switch 2 so far is very good lack of physical games. Now, when I say there's plenty of physical games coming for the Nintendo Switch 2, both at launch and later in post-launch. But the physical games I'm referring to is like actual games on the cartridge, which the Switch 2 does not have. Well, the Switch 2 has, but a lot of them at launch, at least, do not have the actual full. So there's three different kinds of Nintendo Switch 2 games that can and maybe or will be available. There is Switch. There's physical Switch games, which the whole game is on the actual physical little game card right here, right? All in this little thing. There's sorry, let me go ahead and do that again for a better shot for the camera. Okay, so Mario Kart World. I'm a hypocrite. I bought it. I needed a game to test, and I want a physical game for the Switch 2 at least, so this will probably be the only $80 Switch game that I purchase. You know, because $80 games is ridiculous, but there we go. There's our little Mario Kart World. If the camera can focus on it, please, camera. Oh my gosh, camera, can you freaking focus on it? All right, there we go. Yep. From what I have heard from people, they still have the little bitter toxin thing on here to keep kids from putting them in their mouths, which is smart. But I mean, Marcus Brownlee said it better himself in this video. I mean, that is a lot of plastic to kind of waste on the packaging. You miss game guides? Anyone out there old school miss game guides and stuff like that? I think games like Binding of Isaac on the original Switch came with a bunch of stuff in the box. But I mean, come on, Nintendo. You know, you're gonna charge us $80 for a physical game. You know, might as well, you know, give us a little something extra in the back, some guides or something like that. Paper's cheap. It's abundant. It's everywhere. It's not going to add much more margins on top of here. But I guess they would have to hire people to make that kind of stuff for it. But I mean, you just throw that in the development of the actual game. But, you know, anyways. But yeah, so there's that. So let's get this out and fire it up here. Oh, and then another thing, Nintendo. Stop charging the same price for digital games for physical games. You have way bigger margins on digital games at the same price because you don't have to pay for the packaging and the card and all that kind of stuff. So give us a little bit of a discount, especially if you're not going to, you know, reduce your prices over time. You know, give us a little discount if we buy digitally, you know what I mean? Because, you know, but I mean, that's extra money. Why wouldn't Nintendo do that? All right, so let's go ahead and get our little cartridge in here. Okay, that's pretty smooth actually. So before on the original Switch, I don't know if you can see it, there used to be a little divot right here. And you had to use your like fingernail to like get in there to pop this thing out, which was super annoying. As a guy who, you know, picks all my fingernails down pretty low, as like a little bit of a personal habit that I have. Trying to get this thing open on my original Switch and my Switch OLED and stuff like that, huge pain in the butt. But now it's got a little divot right here, and you just pull it up, and it's pretty smooth getting it out there, which is pretty nice. So and it slides right in there pretty easy, and there we go, guys. Mario Kart World. There were some rumors ahead of launch that said that the MiG Switch, which is that Russian-made like Switch 2 game card, you know, copycat thing, you know, that you used to like put all your Switch ROMs on and stuff like that. Apparently, there was a rumor out there that apparently plugging that into a Nintendo Switch 2, an early copy that someone got, completely bricked the console. I'm not sure how accurate that is. I do not have a MiG Switch, so I'm not going to test that. But yeah, definitely wouldn't surprise me if Nintendo put a few security barriers in there. I mean, they said in their user agreement that they have the right to brick your console if you mess around with stuff. So, I mean, you know, maybe someone will find a workaround for that in the future. Maybe not. Who knows? I think it should be perfectly fine if you're using your own ROMs, you know, and stuff like that. Because I think they have a dumper that lets you take your games and, like, you know, copy them so that you can, you know, put them in the MiG Switch and stuff like that. But I mean, that's besides the point. But yeah, Mario Kart World. Let's go ahead and you get to using this. New update is available. It'll download now. Yeah, let's see how long it's going to take. Actually, good. Download options, cancel download. Actually, download, cancel, continue. Actually, you know what? I'm going to cancel the download because I actually want to see what the out-of-box experience is for the Mario Kart World. Start software. Try to position it a little bit nicer for you guys to see. Nice little view of the game world map. that we'll be able to explore. It does look really nice in person. There we go. There's our main menu, guys. Speakers are nice and loud and punchy, especially reverberating off of the little desk here. That is a pretty nice theme for Mario Kart World, I will say. I wonder how far this actually goes. Probably goes a good bit, if I imagine. We got single player, multiplayer, online play, wireless play, stickers, map, manual, stickers. Have a nice drive. Yep. And I'll just do Mario Kart Television, Game World map. Okay, so we can kind of go around. Okay, so you can kind of just pick free roam and pick wherever you want to go and stuff like that. Got little stickers of characters here, so it looks like you kind of go around the world to find those guys. Pretty big, pretty expensive. I didn't expect this to be a review of Mario Kart World, but I mean, we're here. I mean, I could do a little bit better with the presentation. But I mean, this is live in the moment, you know, so. Alright, let's just do single player here. Yeah, just normal Grand Prix. Here's the character menu. So I guess we don't have all of them unlocked, so I guess you can just encounter them in the world? Maybe. Interesting. One thing about Mario Kart World, the characters, they got a lot of extra characters in here, you know, which is fine, you know, more customization when you're dealing with 24 racers, you know, you know, you definitely need some variety there, but like, I mean, at least in the demos that we saw, like, you can see the little dots right down here for like all the different pages and stuff like that, and like, at least during the demo and stuff like that, there were like a lot of freaking pages down there. And it's the exact same thing that Tears of the Kingdom had, where whenever you try to like put a special item on your arrow to like give it a unique ability, or like craft or stuff like that, it's just endless scrolling to the right or, you know, left. It's like super long. Like, Nintendo, give us horizontal menus or more condensed pages or something like that, because that's just not fun scrolling to the right or left all the time to navigate items in a menu or an inventory or stuff like that. I'll just go ahead and leave it right now because I'm not trying to do a review on Mario Kart World right now. But I mean, there it is. I mean, even on the camera, it still looks pretty impressive. So go ahead and close that. And yeah, so. But yeah, guys, that is the Nintendo Switch 2. Hey guys, Lyoko Sector here. Just a little quick update. After I stopped recording my video, I forgot to test a Switch 1 game on the Switch 2. So we're going to go ahead and jump in and do that real quick because I was actually curious. We did download the update when we set up the console, so I'm curious to see if that is what is going to be required to play those games or not. So we'll go ahead and see here real quick. Go ahead and take our Mario Kart World out of the box here. And then we'll go ahead and take this out. 1-2 Switch, what better game to try it out with than with, you know, one of the original Switch launch games. Another thing I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to take us off Wi-Fi, because if we can do that. All right, so as you can see, we are not connected to the internet right now, so we'll go ahead and see if it'll let us run the game or not. 1, 2, switch. Okay. Not going to download the software because we don't have internet. Actually, we'll go ahead and try to download so that we can demonstrate it. Not connected to the internet. Okay, cool. So click that and then start software. Okay, looks like it's running pretty good. 1, 2, switch is all about looking each other in the eye as you play. Just
1, 2, switch. Here we go. Let's have some fun.
speaking of 1, 2, switch, I actually have everybody 1, 2, switch. Hold on, I don't know if I can. Speaking of 1, 2, switch, I've got everybody 1, 2, switch, and I have yet to actually boot up and play that game. So definitely something I'm gonna have to do on the side with my brother or something like that. But yeah. All right, cool. So I mean, it looks like the game runs good, which is always great. We'll go ahead and close that, and then. All right, yeah, so that is the Nintendo Switch 2. So it turns out that you can play Nintendo Switch 1 games on the Switch 2, assuming if you have the update. But once you have it, you know, we're in offline mode right here, as you have seen. Not required in order to do that, so that's good to know. Not sure how it would have been if we didn't update the console when we set it up, but we just did it because, you know, I want to play my Switch 1 games on here right away. So yeah, if you guys like the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up. Tell me what you guys' thoughts on the Switch 2. What'd you think of this little unboxing experience I had here? And yeah, this is Lyoko Sector, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys.